want to appreciate my father and my mother. Like, I have to start from there. Daddy and mommy, thank you so much. I came in a raw state. If you know me then, you know me. You know that I came in a raw state. Thank you so much. Thank you for not giving up on me. Thank you for every opportunities. Thank you for the platform. Thank you for praying for me. The prayer are doing wonders. And I'm grateful for everything. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma. Church of God, can we let's lift up our hand this morning? Can you give glory to God and speak to the Lord this morning? Father, speak unto me. Talk to me personally. I will hear my own word. That which you want me to know in this session, I pray I will know it in the mighty name of Jesus. Thank you because you are Lord. In Jesus' name we've prayed. Can you please, let's have our seats. Let's have our seats. Okay. Good morning, church. Good morning, Sam. So I'm talking about help ministry. But first and foremost, let's read the book of 1 Corinthians. 1 Corinthians chapter 12, verse 28. I first want to establish in the Bible that help ministry is one of the ministry God has ordained. It was not because there was a need in church. It was not because there is a lack or there is a work to do. That's why I'm there. God ordained it. It says, and God has appointed this in the church. First, apostles. Second, prophets. Third, teacher. After that, miracles. Then, gifts of healing. Helps. Can you see it there? So, gifts of healing, helps, administration, varieties of tongues. So, anything you are doing in church, it was not because there is a need for it. God ordained it. There is a grace for it. There is an assignment for it. It's a calling. If you know about it, it's a calling. It's not because my pastor did not have somebody to help. Let me go and do it. I look back at my life and I could say that I may not be called as a prophet. I'm not called as an apostle. But I know one thing about my life. I'm called as a helper. I'm called into help ministry. And I'm proud of it. I'm not ashamed of it. Because I remember a long time ago, maybe like 7 years ago, I was in a church that is a grown-up, a big church. And anytime the pastor is talking about when they are starting out, how they did, one heart cry about in my heart will be, Father Lord, I need someone that is starting out that I can do all this thing with. So I prayed those prayers unknowingly. I didn't know what God is doing. But I will pray that prayer that, Father, I'm looking for someone that is starting out. I knew a deep desire in me. Okay, somebody that is just starting out, that all these things that they are talking about, I'll be able to render my help. I may not be able to preach. I may not be able to stand upon the altar. But at the back end, that they will become stable to do what we have called them to do. That they'll be able to fulfill fully what God has ordained them to do. I know I'm not called to go and start. I'm not called to pioneer. But that those people that we've called to pioneer, those people that we've called to go and start, I will be a support behind the end. That they'll be able to do the work fully. They'll be able to do all we've called them to do. Like in Acts chapter 6, the apostle, they says, we can't be serving the tables and leave the major what God has called us into. So let's not stay with the table. You go and do what God has called you to do. So that I am so sure of that. And when God led me back into NGCC 5 years ago, I've been a church member maybe 7 years ago. When I knew that this is time to start, I didn't even know that was the answer to my prayer. But I now have a strong desire in my heart. It's time to go back to Yoruba. It's time to go back to go and submit to Pastor Temi and Pastor Ronke. And I came, I said, I'm ready. Anything. And now it's going to be. If it's just to be sweeping the floor in your house, I will do it with all joy. Even if it's not going to be in the church, that it's at home, nobody will see me. I will do it with all joy. Because I think that's what God has ordained me for. And it will help them to fulfill that which God has called them to be. Every one of us may not be called to that calling. We may not be called to that calling of, that's my major calling. But everybody have the capacity to help. Everybody, every Christian, every child of God, we are ordained to help in any capacity. It may be as a wife to an husband. It may be as a backup singer. It may not be a lead singer, but it can be as a backup singer. It can be sweeping the church. It can be like, okay, imagine this place is dirty. Will you be able to concentrate? So some help ministers have worked here this morning. And that's their own calling. They may not be upon this altar, but they will sweep the church and it will be clean. And every one of us are sitting here comfortably. It could be at the media. They are not in the auditorium. They are helping. They are fulfilling their ministry. So it's not about God have called me and I'm not doing anything. It's a lie. If God have called you to go and pioneer something, if God give you a major calling, you help somewhere. Because that's where we learn. That's where we are formed. That's where we are shaped. You don't just stand up and say, God have called me, I'm not doing anything. Or you say, I'm in a church, I'm not doing anything. It's uncalled for. You do something. You help. Everything that will make our man of God to work properly. We are meant to do it. We are called to do it. And we must all do it with all our hearts. Imagine if we did not sweep, we did not clean, we did not take care of children's church. We don't be doing running around to be doing all those things. So all of us are doing one thing that will make them to be able to function properly, to give their all, to give their all. And anytime something struck you that will make a man of God or a woman of God to function properly, to give their best, go ahead and do it. I remember when I started out, when I had the deep desire in me, I was not even a worker in the church. I was not a steward. But I knew that there are some choir members that they have baby. And they cannot carry their baby here. So I will volunteer every Sunday. I have 1 or 2 baby that I will carry. So that we can minister perfectly. So not even to the pastor, to a choir member. Because I know she will lead. And she cannot carry her baby on the altar. So I will just walk up to her. No, I will carry your baby for you. You go and focus. And I will make sure I give it my best. I will not need to come and be calling you every 5 minutes. Your baby is crying. Your baby is crying. I will try my best to make sure that baby is comfortable. You are well focused where you are. So anything God have called you to do, now it's not to a pastor, just a steward in church. Anything God have called you to do, give your best to it. Give your best to it. Don't do it like they asked us to sweep. Nobody's asking you to sweep. You are doing it for yourself. It's not by my HOM called me. I worked yesterday. You know this thing of, I was on the roster last week. Oh, I'm not doing it again. No. So far the work is yet to be done. We are yet together. We do it till when the work is done. Till when the work is done. That's where help minister is. So we have to give it our best. And you know that we don't feel because I'm called into a help minister means that I'm less. That's my number one. I'm not less. Look at Joseph. Did Joseph started as a prime minister? No. So if you see Joseph when he was in Potiphar's house, what will you think of him? The training, he was going through his training. So help ministry is a platform where we are being trained. I know something struck me. Help ministry is where all your weaknesses. Mommy said it, I knew it. I came in a raw state. Even though I know the deep desire in me is a calling upon me. But I still came in with my bass, like with my, I've done it now. You know that moment of, I've done it. You know that moment that you are praising yourself. Nobody is by yourself. You are scoring your card. You are, now. But we are not doing it well. Until you do it perfectly, that they don't have to come back to come and do it again. You know that moment that they will ask you to sweep, and the person that asks you have to come and sweep it again. We've not helped. We help until when the person you are ministering is refreshed, and they can take their eyes away. That I'm sure the person will do it perfectly. It's not a thing of ask her to go and sweep, but I have to come back again. I know that. No. We have to do it again. So anything God have called you to do in your help platform, where we are ministry, where we are helping, ensure we give it your best. Do it with all your heart. Do it with all your heart. Give your best to it. I hope you have been blessed this morning, Sam. And so I've said it earlier before that it can come into platform. It can be a calling. It can be, that's what God have called you to be. Now I'm joining you to this minister. Help him. That's where we are fulfilling your own destiny. And we are going as a help minister. You may be a prophet. We are not starting out. I'm calling you to serve under and make sure you serve faithfully. And then it could be that just as a steward in church. Every steward in church is already in a help ministry. Every steward, so far you are a worker, so far you are doing one thing or the other. It could be in the children's church, it could be in ushering unit, it could be in the media team, it could be in the choir. But anything that you are doing that is making the man of God to function properly, to function effectively, we are already in the help ministry. And lest I forget, help ministry is also in intercession. Praying for them. Now, do you know that sometimes when you are calling to that intercession, you don't see it as, Nobody knows me in church. But that's already one of the help ministry. That's one of the help ministry. And every one of us are meant to function in it. Carry it upon your head that my pastor, they will not be tired, they will not fail. I may not be able to minister to them directly. I may not have access to their house. I may not have access to serve them directly. But at my own back end, I will ensure I'm praying for them. I will ensure I'm praying for their home. I'm praying for their ministry. I'm praying for their children. I'm praying for the work God has committed into their hand. And that's a major help. That's a major help. Another help ministry that we can do is finances. I may not be able to go to villages, but my money will go there. The church of God is going on. I may not be able to preach. I may not be in the media units, but I'm in the worship, but my money will go. Fullness conference is ongoing. A lot of resources are needed. So it's not just about, I will give myself, but my money, thank God is my source now, but my money cannot go into it. You know that moment of, we are called to do everything together. You spend your money, you spend your body, you spend your time, you give your skills, you use your gifts, everything God has given unto you. Make sure in one way or the other you are using it to help. For a man of God that God has called to fulfill their ministry. No matter how little, no matter how minor, no matter how major. We can take it up. Okay, for my woman of God to be looking beautiful, I will take it. So she won't have to be thinking of, which style should I sew? When will I buy this? I will take it upon myself. Okay, everything that you need, don't worry. I'll be doing so that we can focus. Because sometimes there's something that can take our time. I don't know. How should I explain this now? Imagine if you want to pick a cloth or I want to sew a style, there is a way that I can spend time and be thinking, which one? But imagine if I know that I have a daughter, that one, she will sew it perfectly. She will not sew low waist or something that I have to be adjusting. We've taken a body away from her that will make her to be able to minister effectively. So I'm just helping us that we should think anything God drop in your mind. It's an assignment that God will give to somebody. It may not be to me, it may be to another person. But there's an assignment for everybody that will help a minister of God to be able to function effectively, to be able to function maximally. And just think of it. Pray to God to show you. You can ask God about it. Father, show me. I want my pastor, I want them to function effectively. What have you put in my own capacity to do so that they'll be able to function properly, so that they'll be able to function effectively? I hope you are getting me. And remember David too. David served Saul. Even though David is going to be a king, even though God is taking David to the kingdom, God is giving him the kingdom. But God has taken David ahead. Not that go and observe. God did not tell him to go and observe. God did not tell him, that's what I'm giving you. So, Lord will do's and don'ts. Lord will blush him, Lord will mistake him. No. If the first time it was happening is to go and play a app. So God know what he's doing. If the only work they give you is that be watching the children's poo-poo, like the children, don't even see the children, just be cleaning them in the restroom. God is doing something. God is doing something. He's forming something in you. It's shaping you. Some of us, our ego is too much, and that's where God will start with you. Because if you go with that ego to the altar, you destroy a lot of things. So you first put you at the back end. Let all the pride in you, let this be worked upon. So that when you come to the platform I have prepared for you, not go and scatter things. You not go and destroy things. So do you think like, I'm helping them? You are not helping them. You are helping yourself. You are helping your destiny. You are helping the generation God have called you to do. God is forming you. It's shaping you. It's taking away the excesses. I cannot imagine if the way I was 5 years ago, that was the same way. I won't be able to do what God have called me to do. I won't be able to do. Because there are some... I won't be able to do what God have called me to do. God know that I've called you to do something, to attach me to someone that is already doing the great things, for me to learn it, to see how they do it, to know how they do it, so I will be able to do it. So they are not doing me a favor. They are not the one. They are the one doing me a favor. I'm not doing them a favor. I'm not the one doing them a favor. They are the one helping my destiny. They are the one helping the generations in me. So that I will not go there and go and mess up. And do you know something about help ministry is that you are learning not on your own. You are not bearing the cost. I don't know if you got what I'm trying to say. As a help minister, they asked me to come. Maybe you are a lead singer. And you think you are helping. Every time you have to come to rehearsal, we are not helping. Because sometimes you sing, you mess up. Go and try it on a platform where they are paying you. We see how they will fire you. They will remove your money. They won't give you opportunity again. But now in church, in help ministry, we do those some things. They give you platform. Okay, let me say for myself, platform have been given on to me that if I have tried it and I messed it up, like I messed it up big time. But they give me again. Imagine if I try it in a secular world. Is it that my salary will go for it? Is it that I won't go there again? Like they will send you away. But church is a place you are helping and you are learning. Church is a place you are helping. You think I'm working for them, but they are correcting. No, you don't take that step like that. This is how to do it. This is how to carry it. This is where to turn to. So, because most of us, what you are doing and we think we are helping, that's not the way we are doing it now. That's not how you start. Help me as a help minister. You've been sharpened. You've been trained. Imagine we have people in children. Let me use children church now. But most of our children are playing the drum. Today you break the stick. Church will buy another one for us. And they are getting better. So by the time we started drumming for joy, we not think like I'm helping church. Most of the things we are doing, maybe in media, we are learning it in church, now using the skills to serve the Lord. Because most of us do not come in like this. We get better using other people's resources. We try we try the graphics, using somebody's church data. It's not good, do it again. It's not good, do it again. It's not good, do it again. Till you now get better. Till we get better. So help ministry is what God ordained. It's not that because you are less. It's not because I will need major calling. And some of us will do it with a mentality of me, I did not have a major calling. We did not see yourself in your best shape. You did not see yourself as I'm special to God. And it's an opportunity to sweep the house of the Lord. You know, I was reading the book of Exodus and I saw how something that you treat with levity, how that is God that called it. You know, God will tell Aaron, these are the tribes that must carry the ark. These are the tribes that must carry just the vessels that are being used in church. So it's not just anybody that can come to church and say, I want to carry the jitter. It's not anybody that can say, I want to carry the chair in church. God ordained it. For me to be able to toy the chair in church, for me to be able to toy the drum, for me to be able to clean it, God ordained it. God called them. He called them tribe by tribe. This is what your tribe will do. And if you are not called into it and we went to go and do it, the Lord will deal with you. But we are not in a platform of grace where we can do it. We can sweep in church. And it's not about so don't think you are doing God a favor. For you to be able to sweep the house of the Lord, it's a great privilege. For you to be able to touch the church media things, to touch the drum, to touch the keyboard, it's a great privilege. It's a great privilege. So we must treat it as that. We must see it like, okay, God is helping me. I'm not helping God. I pray the Lord will help us in Jesus' name. You know, the wave have carried us. I'm not looking at my note again. Let me just look into my note. Okay, I've said it. I said in our ministry, we learn humility. We learn tolerance. We learn how to receive rebuke. Like mommy said, if I don't know how to receive rebuke, I will be crying. I will just be crying like as if. But that's where, and you know that moment of, you are just crying, we did not pick your lesson. Like, you are just being emotional. You are just being emotional. Because you are not picking what they asked you to pick. But in our ministry, as you continue to do it, as they keep telling you, no, we don't do it like this. No, we don't do it like this. We keep getting better. We keep getting formed. You learn tolerance. Your ego will come down. Imagine, our friend in the house of God is not where we come and say, we don't bring your status outside the church to the church of God. We don't say because in my house I don't sweep. So when I come to church, I will not sweep. Some people will be like, okay, we've attained maybe one position outside the church. I want to bring into the house of the Lord. It's not permitted. We may be a CEO. We honor you. We may be a CEO outside the church. But when you are in the house of the Lord, all of us, if the assignment that was given to you is to mop the altar, you do it with all joy. If there's something that has been given to you is to go and stay at the toilet door, that's where you do your own fullness conference. Just ensure the toilet is always clean. We do it with all joy. And imagine, you know, that the first time they will give it to you, first complain. I'm like, how will I be staying at the toilet door? But something is being shaped in you. God is taking away those things that will destroy you in your future. God is already instilling humility into you by you doing those many things that you look, and it's not many, that but you think that they look many. And in the journey of help ministry, you hear a lot of things. People will say it to your face. They will say it behind you. They will say it around you. They will discuss it. They will say a lot of things. Help ministry is a place you close your ear. You close your ear. Thank you, ma. Help ministry is a place you close your ear if you want to fulfill what God has called you to do there. Because everything like church. Ìwọ ló tún gbé bag pastor lónìí. Ìwọ ló tún ṣe kíni. People will say a lot of things. But if you see it as an assignment that God has called you into, no matter what people are saying, you will be focused. You will not lose your focus. Because you know that I'm not carrying back for just ordinary people. I'm carrying back for a woman of God. To you, you may see it, I'm carrying back for a... But to me, it's a privilege. To be able to touch that bag, I will treasure it. No. I won't take it for granted. To you, it may mean a lot of things. But to me, it's a privilege. It's a privilege. So, and another thing in help ministry that we have to be sure of is when God is communicating anything to you, to you, it may look, how should I explain that? It may look a bit, they will not need it. But you follow the prompts of God that God is giving unto you. Ensure you deliver it. Ensure that, because sometimes you think it does not matter, but to them at that point, it matters that it helps them. Because our focus is anything that will make our man and woman of God to function maximally. Anything that will make them to function effectively. That's what I'm doing. So it could be in any format. It could be in anything. So make sure we give your best. We give your best to it. I've said that we should not listen to what people are saying. I've mentioned again that serve with every capacity that we have. Serve with your resources. Serve with your gift. Serve with your skills. Serve with your intercession. Serve with every capacity that the Lord will give to you. And it just dropped in my spirit. If you know that God has called you a help minister, either you are a single, I just want to pick it from my own life. If you know God has called you to be an help minister as a single, know that we cannot just marry any help person. We cannot just marry somebody that I was telling somebody yesterday, I said, the first person I want to marry, and that was when I was just starting out in ministry. And anytime he called me and I said, I'm in my pastor's house, he'll be like, pastor as in, to him, it looks so strange, like, pastor he does not understand. So if you are single in the house, and we know that this is what God has called me into, ensure you hear from God that you marry a man that will help you to fulfill that call. So you're not going to marry somebody that will be like, oh Lord, because lonely, stay back there. We are not doing that today. All of us are sons of God. Have you heard people say all of us are children of God? All of us are children of God, but some people carry graces. Some are so, know that, no peace. Oh no, I know you are a child of God. I know, but some people carry graces. And I must help them to fulfill what God has called them to do. And also, lastly, the things that will happen when we are able to serve our man of God faithfully. Things that will happen. First thing, that our leaders will be refreshed and encouraged. They will be refreshed and encouraged. Another thing is that the plan of God will be fulfilled upon the earth. God's plan will be accomplished. When you function in your own help, no matter how little it may be. Now, at that time, the pastor needs to pray for something else. They won't be trusting God for, Lord, come and do it for us. Imagine we need 1 million in the next 1 hour. And next, we've not seen it. What do you think our pastor will be praying about? And services, they will be trusting God, Father, Lord, let it come. Let the resources come. But imagine you have already helped with your own finances. At that point, they won't be praying about that again. They will focus on the move of God. Like, I know that they will pray, but there is a way that there is a need ahead. And every need has been solved. How do you think they'll be able to prepare for the meeting? They will prepare well. So we can, when finances increased, as a helping minister, if you serve God with our finances, it also helps our minister to function maximally. It helps them to function effectively. So you can just say in your heart, every month, this is the month I'm dropping to the work of the Lord. I'm serving God with my resources in this quarter. And also another thing I want to talk about is like there is a different, some people used to say volunteer. Help ministry and volunteers, they are not the same thing. If God has called you as an help minister, you are not volunteering. You are serving. You are serving. So because as a volunteer, you can think of, I work. They did not tell me thank you. It's a volunteer that will be expecting thank you. As an help minister, you are not expecting thank you. As a volunteer, you say, please let me first give you my own schedule. Before your guy wants to give you, say, but as an help minister, you don't give your schedule first. You work your schedule around what they are giving you to do. You work your schedule. It's not, okay, Simbaraye Mawa. It's not a matter of Simbaraye. As a volunteer, you can be like Simbaraye Mawa. But as an help minister, Mawa, Aya Yoju, I will come. As a volunteer, you can be thinking, like, I've been doing this for the past 4 years. Can you change it? At least I've been volunteering, maybe in sanitation. Can it be changed? As a help minister, if that's what God is calling me into, we are not changing. But as a volunteer, you'll be thinking, let's change? I've volunteered in this unit for the past 2 years. I want to move to another place. No. As an help minister, I stay there until when God says it's time to move. Or until when they tell me that it's time to move. I don't move myself. I'm not tired of doing it. We don't get tired. We don't get weary. We don't get weak. We do it. We help. Remember when the Israelites went to the battle, and they said anytime Moses lifted up his staff, they are winning. But anytime his hand is down, they will be losing. And Aaron and all, they are up. Oh God, what are we going to do for your voice to clear, for you to do it well? It's not a matter of get joko. Because some of us want to go into help minister to show up. I want to be able to I told you I'm a backup singer. I want to come to the front too. And in your heart, like immediately that the voice of God play. Your voice is totally clear. It's not that I want to show up. Aaron, thank you. Aaron and all did not collect it from him. They look for every way. They said they held his hand up. Do you think it's easy? They recognize the grace in him. And then I've not been called to do this, but what I've been called to do, I will do it to my strength. If it's to hold your hand, I'm not holding stuff, but I will hold your hand. And the Israelites are winning. God is going to reward them for it. God will reward you for what he has called you to do. If he has not called you to it and you went just to go and show up, you are on your own. We cannot go and ask God for the reward of it. We cannot go and ask God for it. But what God has called them to do, that's what they are doing. Minister effectively. I will stay back. I will do it. So we are not looking for glory. We are not looking for platform. We are not helping because we want to get platform. We are not helping because we want to get the glory. We are not helping because we want to get thank you. We are helping because God has called you to do it. And even though if man is not telling me thank you, I don't want it. I'm not craving for it. Either at the back end or at the front end, I will do the will of God. I will help a minister of God to function maximally. I will help a minister of God to function effectively. I will do it with my heart. You know that the apostle have to say this. We can't be serving the table. We will lose focus. So anything that I will help my minister to do for them not to lose focus, I'm ready to do it. And I'm imploring every one of us this morning, anything, in any capacity that God has placed you to, give it your best. Make sure a minister of God is functioning maximally and effective. They did not